When filming Game of Thrones, Maisie Williams recalled her most embarrassing moment. Because so many of the scenes in Game of Thrones were set in the forest and included characters engaging in swordplay and bow and arrow combat, the show always seemed like it was quite labor-intensive to produce. Even though it could be more enjoyable than spending every day in a studio, it does provide a few special obstacles of its own. Ask Maisie Williams, who portrayed Arya Stark for 8 seasons. She spent a large portion of her formative years on set when she first began working on the show at the age of 12. Arya schooled herself up under the guidance of expert swordsman Syrio Forel, needle, and the blade that Jon Snow gave her. Discussing her time on Game of Thrones, Williams recalls an embarrassing moment when she accidentally whacked herself on the head with her own sword. Ouch. Let's set the scene. There's a moment where I'm jabbing the Hound in his chest plate with my sword, and obviously it's like not going through because he's got armor on. And they wanted to get a nice close-up shot of the sword warping. But we need to use the real sword that doesn't warp as easily because it's the close shot, Williams told the Armchair Expert podcast. And then, after some help from the crew, her next attempt at warping the sword saw her injure herself. After I stabbed it in, a number of people, there were a lot of cooks, you know. I'm attempting to explain to someone how I want to distort it, and in the meantime, someone else is moving the sword's tip and asking, "Do you think you could stab him?" I flick the blade where I'm trying to warp it and give myself a crack in the eyebrow. I have this gigantic egg, so they have to shoot me from the other side for the rest of the day. The camera only shot one side of Williams' face for the rest of the shoot. It was so embarrassing, she added. Like, you know when you can hear everyone go, and I was just like, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. Maisie Williams' latest project, The New Look, is now streaming on Apple TV+. Thankfully there's no sword fighting in this one.